All right.
Welcome back to Certified Beef. Me and Brandon are back after a little break due to our finals and just getting back to home, basically getting acclimated here. So be here for the next 3 weeks. It's very interesting week of football. Obviously, not gonna be talking about week 14. Yeah, week 14, but week 15, definitely one of the craziest weeks we've seen in a while. Um, yeah, a lot of close games. Tonight actually was the largest deficit of or margin of victory at 12. So a lot of close, entertaining games this week and yeah, a lot of playoff implications on the line. But yeah, I'll obviously get into book it with beef later on. But just a little recap too before we get into that, which I yeah, yep.
Whoops. Like you said, got lots of games to go over. So we're gonna go over most of the games because they were close. Most of them had at least some playoff implications on them. Just gonna give like a quick 1 to 2 minute thoughts, except for like obviously the teams we know better. So we're gonna start with the Thursday night game, 49ers at Seahawks. 49ers win 21-13.
Yeah, this game really wasn't as close as the score may make it look. 49ers absolutely dominated this game for majority, if not all 4 quarters, besides the Seahawks' last attempts to make a comeback. Um, Obviously, like Brock Purdy started before, didn't know what he was going to be like on a short week. He played fine. He made enough throws, enough plays, but they really leaned on that run game and Christian McCaffrey this game, which you definitely could see them doing that later on. But man, the fucking Seahawks are on a downhill. They're on a fucking downhill, like fucking Black Diamond ski hill. Like they're going so far downhill. It's fucking crazy. This team was 6-3 at one point. Now they're sitting at I think seven and
7 and
seven.
7.
They've lost fucking three or no, 4 out of their last 5 games. Um, yeah, this team is all sorts of bad. Defense isn't that bad, but they can't run the ball anymore with Kenneth Walker. Geno Smith is starting to right back. Um, just a lot of things going bad. Um, just this team is definitely this team I don't think is gonna make the playoffs. They gotta face Kansas City. And I don't know, 9-8 would make it, I think, but I don't know. It depends
You'd
on
be
what like
sweating it
teams
the
like
entire time.
yeah. And they have to play the Jets as well after they have to play the the Chiefs, Jets, and Rams, which I think they can lose all those games because I think the Rams are a feisty enough team, especially a divisional game trying to play spoiler. Obviously, the Rams have nothing to play for, but definitely going to be a tough stretch for the Seahawks. And 49ers seems like they're going to just like coast into the playoffs. I don't know what their schedule's looking like. I know they have to play the Commanders next week and then the Cardinals finish the season, but I don't know who they play in between that. But looks like they're just going to coast in because they just got a great run game. And their defense is absolutely phenomenal. So, but I don't think Brock Purdy is going to hurt them that much. And he's actually looked pretty good. Like, not even like there, not much weaknesses that he's shown as the third string quarterback on that team.
Yeah. This might be weird for me to say, but I do really enjoy watching Brock Purdy play in the NFL. Uh, since he was an Iowa State guy, but that Purdy Kittle connection right now, it's looking pretty nice. I could see the like if Brock Purdy continues this, they could just move on from Jimmy G right here and be like, you're done. Ship him out the door, let him walk, whatever they want to
Well, of
do.
course, I don't think that's a question at this point anymore. Maybe it is, but Trey Lance is still going to be the quarterback next year.
That's what you think.
No,
Brock Purdy
he's
might beat him out.
no.
No.
The only thing that they'll do is create a quarterback competition between those two.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's not going to start. He's not going to be just named the starter.
No,
I
not
have a very I have a feeling they're not going to move on from Trey Lance because they put way too much into him. They put so much capital into him. You can't just give up on him because he got hurt.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like
No,
that's not fair to
I'm
him.
not saying that
And
you give up on Trey Lance. I'm saying that does Brock Purdy have an actual shot to start over him if he like continues this play?
I don't think so. I
Eh,
think he'll literally just be like Jimmy G. Like, oh, if Brock Purdy takes them deep enough in the playoffs or whatever, he'll be like the solid backup that Jimmy G was after Trey Lance got hurt.
That's a solid prediction. But yeah, 49ers look unstoppable right now. I think they got a legitimate shot to get that number one seed if Philadelphia or Minnesota falls off a little bit. George Kittle, obviously, monster game. Defense
You say
played
that they could
good.
get the one seed?
Yeah,
They can't get the one seed
why not?
because they're can they? I don't think they can.
Aren't they only 2 games back?
They're three. I don't know if they can. Unless they have I don't they haven't played the Eagles yet, and unless they have I don't think they have the tiebreaker over them.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
don't I'll look it up, but
They could okay, they could at least have the
no, they
second
can get the
seed.
two seed. They can get their two seed for sure.
Yes. They are looking like a very scary team to play. I would probably put them, yeah, I'd probably put them as the second best team in the entire NFL behind the Eagles.
I don't know if I go that far.
Because AFC, I like the
I
Bills
think
just
there's
don't do it
teams
for
better
me right
than
now.
I I just don't I think you still like gotta handicap him with Brock Purdy. I think that's
That is
I know that's
true.
unfair. I know that's unfair, but you have to. You can't just I think that's a huge thing. Plus, like if they win, if they only get the three seed, let's say the Vikings, they get the two seed. They play each other in the divisional round. That team is going to be. I mean, that's a good team. Trust me, but having a rookie quarterback like that come into a hostile environment, and the 49ers have been I think they just got over 500 for their road record after this week's win. They have been subpar on the road.
Yes, they are now 4-3 on the road.
Yeah, so
And we don't know how Brock
no, this
Purdy
team.
is going to do under pressure because he's only played 2 weeks. The last week was a blowout, obviously. And then this game against the Seahawks, I mean, they handled them pretty easy, even though the score was closer.
So let's see. They need the 12-1 Eagles to lose the rest of their games, or at least three of their final four. In that case, the 49ers would also need to win out. So they need the Eagles to lose out now, or they can lose out.
Is that
They
from
need to
last
win
week, though?
out.
Because they're now 13-1, the Eagles.
No, it says they can lose three out of four.
Okay.
So they can so they can lose. They need the Eagles to lose out. They need to win out, and they also need the Vikings to I think lose one then because I don't know I don't know who's got the tiebreaker or whatever, blah blah. So, but yeah, no, the 49ers definitely not a team you want to face in the playoffs. Kind of like what they did last year. They were the sixth seed, went in, pretty much dominated the Cowboys. Then they played a scrappy game in Green Bay, beat them on a last second field goal. And then they should have probably won in the NFC title game and then they choked.
Yeah, that
But
dropped pick. That
yeah,
didn't help them.
Jaquiski Tart,
Yeah.
who's a free agent and doesn't have a job.
Hmm.
But yeah, 49ers definitely a scary team though still.
Yep. Seahawks maybe done. They're getting closer to being out of it. Next game, we're gonna go Eagles Bears. Eagles win 25-20, but the bigger news is Jalen Hurts is most likely out for the remainder of the regular season.
Fuck you, Jalen Hurts. You're a fucking piece of shit, you motherfucker. You fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. God, fuck you. Like, I honestly give a shit about this game. Like, Bears played tough against the Eagles, made Jalen Hurts throw a couple interceptions, but I'm mainly thinking about my fantasy guillotine. I forgot to pick up a quarterback to back up Jalen Hurts just in case anything, I guess, happens. The rosters are locked. There's no such thing as free agency when you get down to this nitty gritty. So now I don't have a quarterback the rest of the year.
Oh,
I'm gonna make money no matter what because I make it to next week, but I think I had a chance of winning it all, and now I think my chances dwindle to about zero. And I already asked what the third place prize is because I'm totally prepared to lose next
that's
week.
humbling.
So yeah, I'm fucking pissed. Like, I mean, if I know it's if it wasn't his throwing shoulder, like you gotta play, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I know that you guys can afford to lose a game or two, I guess, but I don't know. Fucking pisses me off. But yeah, just it just sucks because dude did not need to fucking run like he was because they pretty much had the game in hand. But he did have 3 rushing touchdowns too,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, the main reason why I wanted to point out this game was because of the Jalen Hurts injury. I don't feel too bad about their chances though going into the rest of the season because Gardner Minshew is going to be just fine.
Mm, I'm still a little worried. I still think there's enough talent around him to kind of like Brock Purdy, but obviously Gardner Minshew's got that experience. There's definitely enough talent around Gardner Minshew for them to still be fine.
And they got at Cowboys, at home versus the Saints, and then at home versus the Giants. Like that's not that intimidating of a schedule.
I mean,
So,
two divisional games is tough, but the Saints right there, the Saints are a very bad team.
and the Giants are also slipping. So, they're they
I think honestly the Giants will probably win that game now. Just because I think there's a good chance that that game is going to matter for the Eagles.
it very well could.
Because I think there's a good chance they lose this week now with Hurts out. But they win the next week just because the Saints are so bad, and then they lock down the 1 seed, and
That's
then
what they're
it's
playing for against the Giants as the 1 seed. Or
well, no,
next week.
they already would they get the 1 seed if they win one more game.
Oh, that's right.
So they just need to win one more game out of their next 3 to get the 1 seed. So
But I think in a backwards way, I think this could honestly help Jalen Hurts' MVP case because if Gardner Minshew goes out there and he plays just average and they lose like 2 out of these next 3 games, then I think they could be like, oh, Jalen Hurts is actually doing something. It's just not his team around him that's that good. He's balling out too and should deserve to get the MVP.
kind of like the Carson Wentz situation, but different because they won the rest of their games pretty much when Carson Wentz got hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was going to win Carson Wentz until he got injured because he
Yeah, he
was
was going to win because his
playing
stats were
fantastic.
like better than Tom Brady at the time, and then Tom Brady finished out the year with better stats.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks that MVP is a longevity type of thing. It makes sense, but also sometimes it doesn't.
Hmm.
Here we go. Next game. Ooh, let me scroll back here. Come on. Next game here will we'll go sure, Patriots Raiders. Uh crazy finish if you haven't seen it already. I don't know how you haven't if you watch football, but Raiders win 30-24.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Didn't see an absolute thing on this game. I feel like I don't know what I was doing yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't really watch much football yesterday. I guess. Wait, did I? Who played Sunday night last night? Oh, that's right. We went over there. I didn't really
Yeah.
watch. I watched like a little football yesterday, mainly just because the Vikings didn't play. I just like, I had some running around to do. But it's two things from this game that I'm just gonna point out. Just like, was his foot in?
No,
Like I saw a different angle, and it looked like his foot was in. Like I saw there was a photo that clearly showed that his foot was like, I'm pretty sure in. I saw on Bleacher
um,
Report, but either way, like can't really do anything about that. But dude, Bill Belichick is gonna kill them. Like I didn't pick the Patriots in my bucket with beef, but goddamn, the Patriots money line even next week looks fucking enticing because he is gonna absolutely whip those boys into shit. Like he's gonna fucking shit on them. Like what the fuck are you doing? Like I've never seen something so dumb in my life out of a professional sports team. It's one of the most mind-boggling things I've ever seen in my life. Um, like no, like there's no words to describe it. Like how, in what way does were you like, oh yeah, let's this is a good idea. Tie game. Like draw play. Like, why don't you just kneel it? Like you're not gonna get in field goal range. You don't have a quarterback that has the arm to get it to the end zone.
didn't they not
That's
have a
run a
timeout either?
They had zero timeouts. There was 3 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the funny thing about it is after the game, all three of them took accountability for that, for them to lose on that play. Like Ramondre's like, yeah, I should have just like gone down with the ball. I shouldn't have looked to throw it. And then Jacoby Myers like, yeah, I made a boneheaded play, like blah blah. And then Mac Jones is like, yeah, I should have tackled him. Like they all just like owned up to it. And like that's just like the Patriots way. Like
Well, yeah.
they're not gonna do what Zach Wilson did. But yeah, just mind boggling shit. Like for them to score on those two plays to win the game, like that is just fucking crazy.
Yes. Going back to the picture, it's a little bit closer than I thought it was. Like the first time you see that touchdown foot picture for Keelan Cole, it looks like he's definitely out. But now looking at it a little bit closer, it looks like it could be, it could go either way. I'm still leaning towards that he was out, but yeah, back to this that play. I don't that it was just confusing all around. Um, I think the best part of that play though was Mac Jones getting stiff armed by
Oh
Chandler
yeah, of
Jones.
course.
That
It
was
was great.
hilarious.
He just got
Um,
absolutely owned.
yep. Like you don't even know anything else from this game besides the touchdown catch and that play. There,
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything that happened. I know the Patriots were down big in that game. That's all I know.
yeah, they scored 21 points in the second half,
Yep.
tie it up. But yeah, I mean, Mac Jones, he doesn't have to take much accountability. I'm letting him off the hook. You got Chandler Jones coming at you. I don't expect you to tackle him. Like you gotta try, but I don't expect you to get him on the ground. Ramondre, I think, is the middle at fault because yeah, why are you pitching it back? But also you made a solid pitch, a solid lateral that got to your guy, still boneheaded, but whatever. And then Jacoby Myers just hold on to the ball. That's all you gotta do.
Just
Uh,
like what made you look and see Mac Jones and then see any other player? You saw Mac Jones
yeah, you
20
didn't
yards
see
behind you.
Chandler Jones standing in front of Mac Jones by like a good solid 5 yards or whatever it was, and then decided to throw it.
Like if that's
Crazy.
like if that happens when you're losing, like fine.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
The fact that it was tied and it just like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the craziest bad endings ever. Like it wasn't a good ending. It was a good ending for the Raiders, but like just bad football. Like it wasn't a great play that was made. It was
No,
just a boneheaded play that was made.
but it sure was entertaining. So
Of course.
I
And
mean,
I think honestly now, I think that pretty much like eliminates the Patriots from the playoffs.
it's pretty close. I'm
It's I know that
sure.
they're like still in it because they're 7-7, but that's tough to come from like come from behind. To like, I'm pretty sure I'm not totally positive, but I'm pretty sure they got to play the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Bills to finish out their season.
Yeah, it's something insane.
It's in I don't know. That's a tough schedule. That's three, at least two inferior opponents in the AFC. Um, and then you got
You mean
the
superior?
superior whatever. What did I say?
Inferior?
Is that not a good word?
Inferior means they're less than you. They're
Is
worse.
that what it means?
Yeah.
What is the word I was looking for? Not superior.
Superior.
Is that what I was looking for? Whatever. Either way, you got I mean the Dolphins are just out of them, but you got two teams that are uh looked at as favorites in the AFC. And you gotta probably have to win. You have to at least beat the Dolphins, and you have to somehow win another one to even have a shot at making the playoffs. It's not looking like, and you still, I mean, you do have the tiebreaker over the Jets, which is good. Um, but yeah, it looks like you kind of just have to beat the Dolphins and win another game, and then have some hope that the Dolphins lose again. So, and they might not even get in then if they have the same record as the Dolphins with a head to head, because they lost to them in the beginning of the season. They might not even have the head to head. So, yeah, who knows? But definitely looking like the Patriots are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, if your hope is on the Dolphins, I wouldn't get too hopeful then because Dolphins play at home versus the Packers, on the road against the Patriots, and then at home against the Jets. So obviously, Jets, Patriots, those are going to be tighter games. Maybe even the Packers too. I don't know, but uh, those are easily winnable for. They're not for sure winnable games, but they're definitely winnable games for the Dolphins. I don't see them slipping up more than once.
Yeah, no, not probably not.
Next game we got Cowboys Jaguars. What the hell happened here? Cowboys lose 34-40 to Jacksonville.
Yeah, definitely could see this coming. Jacksonville plays teams very well, no matter how good they are at home. You saw it last year with the Bills. You've seen it this year already with the Ravens. And Cowboys blow a 17-0 lead in the second half, or 17-point lead, not 17-0, 17-point lead, in the second half. And yeah, Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence playing out of his mind in like the last month. Zay Jones, like him and Christian Kirk have just been like 1-2 combo.
Oh
And
yeah.
then you add Evan Ingram in there. Like they kind of have a prolific passing attack. Travis Etienne had a big game, hasn't really shown much in the last couple weeks, but he had a big game this week. Um, yeah, and it's starting to seem like I've seen it all over the place. Like Dak Prescott is like turning the ball over in very, very unfortunate situations and that are costing the Cowboys these games. Obviously, this one. But I what happened to the Cowboys having this prolific defense that is unstoppable? It feels like these last couple weeks they've really struggled defensively to hold teams down to or just like play good defense, hold these teams to be able to and then like they're scoring enough. Like 34 points is enough, but
Oh, for sure.
you gotta think that their defense got they got one sack on Trevor Lawrence. Like I don't know how much pressure they get on him the whole game, but one sack in you're supposed to be one of the most you're supposed to have one of the best defensive lines in the game.
Hmm.
Um just honestly just yeah, they're like just their defense has got to start stepping up. That's what they've said they want to be prideful on and at that point you're up 17 nothing like what run the ball like it was like was that not working for you? You got to run the ball. That's like the identity of your team. You got a good 1-2 punch with Pollard and Zeke. But definitely a game the Cowboys needed to win, especially like they win this game. You got Jalen Hurts out now. They beat
You got a chance at the division for
they got the
sure.
chance of the division now. Now it's gone. Like it's almost out the window. They have to win out, and the Eagles have to lose out for them to win the division. It's pretty much out the window. Like at this point, that's kind of what I see it as, at least. I mean, pretty much everyone does. It's pretty low probability, but you definitely had a good shot at the division because they play the Eagles and they got to play the Titans, and then they play at home against the Commanders. Oh no, they all play on the road against Commanders. But those are three winnable games now. And then you got the Eagles who still have a divisional opponent that they have to play. Pretty sure the Cowboys just needed to finish with the same record as the Eagles, and they would have had the one seed or the division at least. So if not the one seed, actually no, they would get the one seed then. They would have got the one seed, but
They would
now
have, yeah.
now it's looking like they're not going to get that, and they're not going to win the division either. So it's probably going to be the Cowboys traveling to the NFC South winner. They still clinched the playoff berth even with a loss.
Oh
It's
yeah,
that
because
this is the saddest thing ever. Just because the Giants Commanders game finished in a, I, I honestly just think it needed to finish not tie. I think is what it was.
huh.
I don't know how that works, but that it was up to the Commanders and Giants. So I don't know. Either way,
Um,
Cowboys gotta figure their shit out. I know they're still 10-4, but
they're an
still,
inconsistent 10-4.
yeah, because they struggled against the Texans last week, and then they had a huge lead against our Jaguars this weekend, and they blew it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny to think because at the beginning of the season, we are like, oh yeah, Jaguars, they could totally win the division. And the last like 2 months happened, and we're like, oh no, they're totally out of it. And now they're back to being they could they could win this thing. They could
I
win
am
the AFC South.
I am praying for that, for it to stay the same, and for that last game of the season be for the division.
I
That'd be
wanted
awesome.
the I wanted to also because it's in Jacksonville. You got to play the Jets on the road on Thursday night, which is not going to be easy, but
No,
still, all of these are winnable games. I feel Jaguars at Texans. I feel like this could be a shootout because Jacksonville will play down to Houston
the
because
thing
didn't
is,
they
all
lose
you need,
last year?
you don't even need to win out towards or win the next two games. You just have to
That's
be
true.
one game below the Titans to have a chance.
Yep, and then you just need to beat the Titans at home.
Yep.
Uh, so
Just think about that. Week 18, Sunday Night Football, Titans at Jags.
And then Jacksonville raises the banner, AFC 2022 AFC South champions. Ooh, that would be pretty funny. But
Yeah.
Dallas didn't come through for me for Book It with Beef last week. That's all right. Uh,
Yeah, I saw that on yours and I really did not like that pick.
I thought
I
I
hated
thought
it so
since
much.
the Texans played the Cowboys so close that Dallas was gonna be like, all right, we gotta get back out there and kick some butt, but they obviously did not
I
do that.
just it's hard to bet against the
Jaguars at home
Jaguars at home. So hard.
against a good team. That's the
Like
big
the only
caveat.
team I feel like they haven't covered against at home is the Giants early in the season.
Yep, because
Like,
we had them. I
yeah,
remember that.
they were underdogs, the Giants, weren't they? When we did that, I think they
No, I think they were favorites.
were they?
Wait, no, it was underdogs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
that
were like
was
+3 or something
yeah,
like
it was
that.
+3 because that was the best value
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, they cover a lot at home and they play teams tough, but then they go on the road and it's like sometimes they look like shit. Like like got killed by the Lions, but then they absolutely dominate the Titans on the road. It's like they're a weird team.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of weird losses, a lot of weird wins. Um, but yeah, just that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, week 17, like it just because of how stupid it sounds, like the Titans and the Jags for the division, like something you probably think you'd never hear.
Yeah, the Titans are just kind of throwing their season away recently,
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah, they are.
they're not doing too hot. But I don't think we need to. We don't need to go over the game because it wasn't that important. I don't feel. Um,
I think the Chargers probably cemented their playoff spot, though, if anything, from that game. Like I don't think they have a very tough schedule to finish out. Pretty sure they
Um,
got to play at Denver. They have to play the Raiders again, I think, and then they play the Rams.
Colts
Oh,
at Colts
Colts at
versus
home against the
Rams
Rams at
at
Denver.
Denver.
Yeah, it's
So
not very hard. Not very hard schedule. They
how
could easily
full
finish that 3-0.
how full is the stadium gonna be on that Sunday night for Rams Chargers?
Oh
Since
my
this is
God, I
Battle
didn't
of
even think
LA,
about
but
that.
there's no opposing team,
Dude,
no
that's gonna be
on a
crazy.
city team. Oh wait, I think I heard that they're trying to give away the tickets. That's right.
No, that
The
was the Denver
Denver Rams game.
Rams game. Yeah.
Oh, I think they should do it for this game too, because that's
Yeah, that brutal.
brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay.
two teams that get no fans.
I feel like people should just, I don't know. There needs to be a team in LA, but there doesn't need to be two.
It'll be like the Super Bowl where there'll just be a bunch of random fans from other teams that show up to that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Just see how many jerseys you can spot from different teams.
Like there was like fucking there was people at the Packers game tonight with Bengals shit on.
I
It's like,
saw the Vikings game. There was like a dude with an Edelman jersey, and then there was like an Antonio Gates jersey in the crowd, and it was pretty funny.
yeah, just
Like
weird.
they have nothing to do with this game, but okay, you do you.
Yep.
This game is going to help with your claim here, Jack. Chiefs, Texans. Chiefs win 30-24 in overtime somehow.
Yep. Like I said, I think this team is frauds, and I think this is a big game that showed it. Patrick Mahomes played out of his mind. He had like five incompletions, threw for over 300 yards, and they still won this game. Had to win this game in overtime.
Mhm.
Like, what? What is like? How can you let the Texans? I know that they just played good against the Cowboys, but I thought the Chiefs were a better team than the Cowboys. I don't know if they are now. I've been saying this for a while, and I think this is a great game to back it up. Chiefs are frauds. They are not as good as their record says. I know that's the stupidest thing, like, oh, you're as good as your record is. Like, I think in this case it's not. I've watched way too many Chiefs games, like I've talked about. They're not as good as they were. They record says. They play teams close. Other teams make bunch of mental mistakes. And I don't even know if it was mental mistakes this game. It might have just been the Texans put a good
Davis
drive
Mills
or the
fumbled the game away in overtime.
oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna say they could have put a drive to get yeah, Davis Mills fumbled. So you have other teams make miscues. Like I mean, yeah, you force the fumble, but Davis Mills, I don't know how you just don't like go down there or something or protect the ball. So it's not even like they put together a drive. So there's no reason why you should play. I know that it was on the road, but there's still no reason why the Texans should play you this close. Not
No,
even a little.
if you're a Super Bowl caliber team, aka the Cowboys and the Chiefs, you should not be squeaking out games against the lowly Houston Texans, a team that is holding on for the number one overall draft spot. Um, I don't know if I missed something, but I don't know why Jeff Driscoll came. Did
They did
Davis
this.
Mills get hurt?
They did that the week before, where they brought Jeff Driscoll in
And then
during
Philip
parts of the
Dorsett
game.
threw a pass, I guess.
Yeah,
Cool. Um, but yeah, like it doesn't even look like the Chiefs. They look like they had a very solid game offensively. Mahomes, great. Rushing attack, not amazing, but still very solid. Receiving off the charts. Like I didn't watch this game, obviously, couldn't tell, but like did their defense just suck it up that bad? Like 24 points to give up is not bad, but to the Texans it is. So like I don't know what went wrong here for the Chiefs that they had to squeak it out.
yeah. I honestly think that these last 2 weeks, that like with how the Texans have played the Cowboys and the Chiefs, like there's like six teams that have been speculated about, like who was like contending for the Super Bowl. You got the Bills, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the AFC, and then you got the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Cowboys. I honestly think that like I know it's crazy to say, but I think these last 2 weeks from what the Texans have done, I think you can eliminate the Chiefs and the Cowboys from that. I think it's down. I think it's like a 4 team race for the Super Bowl.
I think you keep the Chiefs in there. Like I know they're not playing up to what they should be, but Mahomes is still Mahomes with Kelsey and a solid defense. So I'm not counting them out quite yet out of that conversation. Maybe
No, but I
another
definitely
bad week
I still
though.
think I would put the Bengals ahead of them and the Bills ahead of them.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Um,
The Bengals defense is fucking ridiculous.
they've been playing off the charts lately. Um, moving on, we got the Saturday night game, Bills Dolphins in Orchard Park, 3 feet of snow. Uh, Buffalo wins 32-29 on a last second Tyler Bass field goal.
Yeah, respect from the Dolphins. They came to play in this game. They were getting after Josh Allen all night. Josh Allen had I haven't seen him face this much pressure like in a long time. Like he was running for his life most of this game. Um, Tua played well after a horrible week the week before. Um, yeah, just I don't even what fuck. I'm trying to think of what happened. I don't even know. Did they turn the ball over? No, they didn't turn the ball over at the end. They just gave him the ball back. Um, but I mean that's what championship teams do. Not don't play the greatest, struggle a little bit, but they made the plays at the end of the game to put themselves in a position to win. And I mean they came out on top. Josh Allen didn't play amazing. Diggs not as great of a game. I couldn't tell if the weather really had an effect with it, but if anything, if weather had an effect on this game, I think the Dolphins would have really struggled, and they really didn't. Um, but obviously Bills playoffs. Don't know if they have that much of a tough schedule to miss or lose the 1 seed. They have the
Bears, Bengals,
Bears.
Patriots.
Yeah, that Bengals game is crucial because thing is, I don't think the Chiefs are gonna lose a game the rest of the way. And if they lose that game to the Bengals, they'll lose the 1 seed to the
You would just
to the
hate that.
Chiefs. What?
You would just hate that.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna fucking I
Would
it's
you
gonna
cry?
I would be no, I wouldn't cry. I'd be so pissed though. It just bothers me so much. Like I've said it before, like the fact that Patrick Mahomes hasn't had to play one road playoff game just pisses me the fuck off. It just fucking oh my God, it pisses me off. Like, yeah, he's like I know he's great and everything, but I would just like to see him go into a fucking hostile environment and play a game. Like just play a playoff game because he hasn't had to do it. He's had to play at home in front of his home crowd. And guess what? He's only made it to fucking 2 Super Bowls out of what? Three or no, four AFC no, five. Is it five now? 4 or 5 in a row now?
I think it's four.
Four. You
Since
mean
2018.
what year is he in now? What year is he in now?
Is he like a fifth year?
Is it his fifth year or
17?
sixth? 17. So he sat 1 year, then he started.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. So they lost the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Patriots in the AFC
Yeah.
title games. They lost anyone else? I don't think so. Either way, they've pretty much had it easy in the playoffs. Like I want them to so that's one thing I'm not gonna look forward to. But I don't what were we talking about? I have no idea.
Bills Dolphins still.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just want Bills just win out. No, let's just get the 1 seed down locked. Don't have to worry about it. I want everyone to have to go through Buffalo because Buffalo is just a not a statistically, it's just an advantage. They just play so much better there. Definitely an advantage to everyone. Bro, did you see that? You didn't see that video because I didn't send it to you on TikTok, but this guy was trying to say that Buffalo needs an a fucking roof over their stadiums.
You
They
told
don't.
me.
It was fucking stupid.
I
Also,
somewhat agree, but I just think the walls need to be a little bit higher.
that's not gonna do anything.
If it blocks the snow from blowing in, if the walls are somewhat higher. Because I like the design of their new stadium where it has looks like Lumen.
Ah,
It's like it looks like Lumen Field in Seattle, where you got where the roof is covering the fans, but the playing surface is still exposed. I think that's the best thing that Buffalo can do.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, Dolphins kind of going down the wrong path, but I still think they have a pretty decent shot at making the playoffs.
I think let's see who they got to finish out the year with. Oh yeah, Packers, Patriots, or
Jets.
Jets. Yep. Um, yeah, this was a good game. I didn't get to watch too much of it, unfortunately, but both teams
Yeah,
played good.
I didn't get to see a single bit of it. So
Raheem Mostert had a great game. After I forgot who it was, someone told on the TV told people to bench him. So sorry, Dad. He probably got knocked out of his playoffs because of that. And also Dawson Knox. He had him on his team too and on the bench.
okay, Dawson Knox fucking sucked all year.
He
So
has.
there's
He's
no
got
reason
a
to start.
quarter. He basically got a quarter of his season yards in this game, 98.
Probably his fantasy points as well.
Probably.
Because he had 2 touchdowns, didn't he?
He had one touchdown.
Oh.
But everybody, the offenses were playing great. I I think though the Bills defense isn't that scary if you can keep your quarterback upright. That secondary does not scare me that much.
I
Like
think it's still really good.
it's still good, but like
I
if you
also
got a
I think
good
it's
wide receiver core, it might be game over for them because
but
Tyreek Hill played
I think
great.
the only one besides the Dolphins that can compete with that with a good wide receiver core is the Bengals.
Yeah,
I do you think the Dolphins are a scary team if they come out of the wild card against any team?
yes. Because I think Mike McDaniel is kind of I don't know. This might be weird. This might not make sense at all, but I feel like Mike McDaniel is kind of like the nerd version of Dan Campbell. Like he gets his team to play gritty and tough, but he uses more analytical sides of it. I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I no, it does make sense. It's kind of
Okay.
weird, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So like he gets his
I
team
think
to
I've actually
fight for
heard
him
that.
every
I don't
week.
think that's the first time I've ever heard that either, though. So it's not that weird.
He gets his team to fight for him every week. He's obviously his players respect him. Like I don't know if you've seen that video. Whereas like last year when Brian Flores was the coach, like Tua was only giving like one word responses to him, but this year like he's saying like full things to Mike McDaniel inside like in between plays and stuff like that on the sideline. So he's definitely built a culture of respect there, but also it's very laid back. Like obviously, him wearing the "I wish it was colder" shirt was amazing, and I think his players really enjoyed that. And so if he's gonna get his team to compete for him, and that's not a team I would want to face in the playoffs because I think they're a very well-rounded team. Like obviously most playoff teams are, but Dolphins in particular seem like they're going to be very good.
Yeah. Bro, how much money did you win tonight? You had 2 bets cash.
$48.
It's a
I was
weird
three
number.
away from the 8-legger.
Yeah, I mean, mine were close. I was like not, I mean, I was like 10 rushing yards from Dylan, 4 receiving yards from Watson, from Jefferson. Ben Skoranek, I should have just never done the over. That was just dumb. But I was kind of close, if even though I missed it by 4.
All right. Next game, Lions Jets in the Meadowlands. Lions fighting to get back to 500. Jets looking to stay above 500. And the Lions win 20-17.
Yeah, Zach Wilson really only made one mistake. I have a feel I don't know. You still think they go back to Mike White if they after this week? if he gets cleared to play.
He's not gonna get cleared because they're already preparing.
Well, no, I know. I'm talking about the week
Oh.
after this week because they already said that Zach Wilson's going to start again.
Probably. With him
If
playing right now, is Joe Flacco hurt?
no, Joe
Okay.
Flacco's just ass.
Right. But with him playing, it makes the whole situation before more confusing because now I don't think his time is up in New York. Because
If
if
he
it
wins
truly,
this next game, do you think they have a chance? Do you think he starts after that?
Ooh,
Plus, like, do you put an injured quarterback out there even though, like, that's tough? I don't know. Either way, like, he didn't
I
play
still feel like
horrible.
Mike White gives you your best chance to win.
Yeah, he didn't play horrible. Made one bad mistake. But it's kind of just a defensive game. Like, I'm surprised the Detroit Lions defense has been playing a lot better of late. And their offense struggled against this Jets defense, which understandable. Jets defense is really good, but they made just enough plays, and I don't know how the Jets let a tight end run 45 some yards or whatever it was for a touchdown on 4th and inches. Wide open. I don't understand that. I don't know how that's possible. Especially the backup tight end. It wasn't even the I don't even know who their main tight end is. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know
never
how
heard
you
of
let that
Brock Wright
happen.
before.
I've heard of them, but it's just like how do you let that happen? Being a good defense like that, but kind of demoralizing because it looked like they were probably going to win this game. But
Yeah, now that the Vikings are done with the Lions for the season, I'm rooting for them all the way. Uh, but
I
yeah,
am, but also, would you be scared to face the Lions in the first round?
not as much since it would be at US Bank.
Yeah, I mean neither, but like just because it's divisional, we've already played them. They know what to do against us. That's the only thing that would make me nervous. Even though we've actually played every single team that's in the playoffs right now, or that would make the playoffs, besides Seattle. That's so I guess never mind. It doesn't really make a difference.
It would be the rubber match, and it would be what like first time obviously Jefferson didn't do anything, but then the next time he went off for basically it was basically a career day. So
It
it'd
was a
see
franchise day.
it was a franchise record. Yeah, that's right. So you'd have to see if the Lions really know how to lock him down or not. But yeah, there was just not really too much offense. Uh Passing was all right. Rushing wasn't anything special from either team. It's impressive when you hold a team's like the leading rusher for a team gets held to 23 yards. Like you don't see that too much. And
Who was that? The Jets running back?
Zonovan Knight or
Zonovan
whatever.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Lions, they're looking pretty scary. They're getting hot at the right time. Gonna be interesting to see how they finish out the year because they got at
Bro,
Panthers.
they don't even need that much help either, though. That's what's the
No.
crazy thing. Because what the Commanders are one, they're same amount of wins, but they have the tie, right?
Uh, Give me one moment. Commanders. Let's see. The Lions are 7-7 now. Commanders are 7-6-1.
Yeah. So you only really you need to win one more game than the Commanders do. Commanders have to finish. I think they play the 49ers this week.
Mm-hmm.
They have to play the Cowboys at home. I don't know who they play after that.
Browns at home.
Oof.
It's
Those are
49ers, Browns, Cowboys.
so they could easily lose 2 out of those 3 games. Then all you
Mhm.
need is the Lions to win 2 out of 3, which they play at Carolina, at home against the Bears, and at the Packers. Those are definitely all winnable games for the Lions. So
Oh yeah.
Lions also need the Seahawks to lose, but I also see that happening. They need to lose. They need to finish with a better record than the Seahawks because the Seahawks have the tiebreaker.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah, 'cause
Lions
that like week
definitely,
4 game or whatever it was.
yeah. Dude, my Lions record prediction looking really good right now.
Wasn't it
9-8.
7-10? Oh, it was 9
9
and
and
8.
8. Yeah, 9 and 8.
That is looking nice. I think if you get it, then me and Andrew will just be on either side of you because I think I did 7 and 10. And he did like 10 and 7. I think it was.
Yeah.
It was. I know we all thought it was absurd. They had
And
them
I
like
had
in the
them making, I'm
playoffs.
pretty sure I had them making the playoffs too, which
I
is
think
insane.
you
I
had
never
them
thought
as
that.
the 8 if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, maybe I did. Either way, I just had them close. I had
Yeah,
them in the
on the
hunt,
bubble.
or you see how these you see what the Monday night's been doing with like the
Hmm.
in the hunt stuff. Like
Yeah,
call me maybe this week. What the fuck was that? Easily the worst one. I like
ESPN has
sniff.
always been weird with their graphics, though.
I like sniffing around though has got to be the best one.
Who would they do that for?
That was the first week they started doing the weird one.
Oh,
The changes. They did loitering last week.
I did see that
That's weird. That's
loitering
kind of
around or
funny.
whatever
Yeah.
it was.
No, it was just loitering. It didn't even say loitering around. It just said loitering. Fucking
I
weird.
I don't know if the person that comes up with those should be have a pay raise or be fired.
I don't know. They're trying too much, I think. But Lions on the come up, Jets kind of faltering at the wrong time.
Both New York teams not looking too hot right now.
I mean, I definitely think the Giants are looking fine. I don't think you could really say that. I think
Uh,
they're honestly, I think it'd be pretty hard for them to miss the playoffs at this point. With the other teams there, they would have to. They have the tiebreaker over the Commanders now. They don't have the tiebreaker over the Seahawks, but they already have another win against them. They have a win. They have a win over the Lions, like in the record wise. They lost to the Lions, but Giants are sitting pretty, I think, now, honestly.
yeah, I guess. Okay, we got two more games here. We're doing the Monday night game, Rams at Packers. I feel like it was pretty uneventful, but
Oh, it's so
still
bad.
24-12 win for Green Bay.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, dude, I'm so why? Like, why do they have to like it's so fucking annoying. The Packers are so dead. Like, they have no chance, dude. And they're like, they're like, oh my god, there's still a chance. They gotta win out and blah blah. It's like they have to play the Dolphins next week, and they have to play the Vikings after that, and they have to play the Lions. Their schedule is fucking hard to finish the year, and they're like, "Oh, they just got to win out." It's like, dude, it's like, let's stop. Like, it's the fucking Packers. Like, we get it; they've been good for a while, but just let it go. They're not making the playoffs this year. It just bothers me so much that they are still like still so annoying that they just keep getting this buzz. It's like they fucking are 6-8. 9-8 is maybe not even gonna make the playoffs right now. Because the Lions could win out and then they might not even they'd be 10-7. So it's like this shit with the fucking Packers needs to stop. The Rams just look helpless.
Yep.
The extra week of Baker just didn't look anything of any good at all. Um, you can tell the Packers played very desperate this game. They defense played very well. The offense still, I mean, I guess they played pretty well. They were on their way to scoring another touchdown. They finished the game. They also had a fumble, but
Mhm.
offense didn't play too bad. They definitely ran the ball a lot more than they have been doing recently, which is what they got to do. But I'm just sick and tired of this fucking all the Packers are still alive in the playoffs. Shit. It's fucking annoying.
This game was unnecessarily chippy. I don't understand why it was. Like I know you got Jalen Ramsey on one side, but it just seemed like it was weirdly competitive considering the Rams have nothing to play for, not even a draft spot. And then the Packers, like they need lots of stuff to go right to make the playoffs. So it was just like unnecessary, I think. But Packers maybe starting to find somewhat of an offensive rhythm. Not uh that one Rodgers pick was beautiful to see though. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was just a horrible pass. It
Like I
was
know
not even
that I
close.
know like they were trying to say like, oh yeah, it was a miscommunication because like Lazard sat down in the zone when Rodgers thought he was going to keep
How do
going.
you communicate on a play like that? Like that's not a
Because I think
communication.
his
'Cause
route
Lazard
is
wa-
supposed to go like all the way up.
well, yeah, of course, but Lazard also read the defense
Yeah.
and Rodgers didn't.
Yep.
So Rodgers' fault there
Oh, yeah, yeah.
completely.
Like he just airmailed him. But Aaron Jones, good game. Unfortunate that AJ Dillon went out. He looked like he was having a solid game. But yeah, I mean the Rams, big far cry from what they were last year. Just it's sad. It's very sad to see.
Just like the most injured team ever. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they lost their center tonight. Like they lost another offensive lineman.
Is he out for the year?
I don't know, but they lost.
I just
He
know
didn't
he
play the
went
rest of
out
the
on
game.
like the yeah, it was first or second play of the game.
Yeah, he didn't come back. I don't think because their center was having horrible snaps the entire game. Baker was like jumping for the ball a lot. It's kind of funny, but
Just get the Rams out of here. Just put
I
them.
still think that next year though, the Rams got to stop fucking around and just like let Cam Akers be the running back one. Like
Cam
that's
Akers
one
needs to
thing.
decide that he wants to be there. First off,
I think he does. Look at him now. He's like playing with actual like intent. Like he's running the ball so well. Like in what area of like ever was there a concern or like where did they ever think like, oh, Daryl Henderson is better running back than Cam Akers? Like, no, we've seen this multiple times before. Even fucking when he came back, he had that injury. He came back and was prolific in the playoffs and was easily better than Daryl Henderson. And they're like, I don't know, maybe we should start him. Like, no, what? Like, yeah, he fumbled a couple times, but he's still the better back.
oh
And it
yeah,
shows Daryl Henderson's not even on the fucking team anymore.
he's not even
So,
on the Jaguars anymore.
no, he's a fucking free agent because he's not good. Daryl Henderson is not a good NFL running back. He is literally mid. And most time, mid is not really going to get you on a team. Unless you're the Houston Texans, who still have Rex Burkhead as one of their running backs.
And Benjamin.
Benjamin is better than Daryl Henderson. Actually, no, they don't have Benjamin. They just cut him.
Oh yeah, that's right. So now he's just sitting. He's another free agent.
Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah. Sad to see the Rams fall like this, but I mean, look at their team. They have their two top receivers out. They're starting quarterback out. Fucking 4 of the 5 offensive linemen are out. It's just, and then they're Aaron Donald's out. They have a starting safety. I think that's out. Corner that's out. Just hell. It's just hell. One thing for the Rams though, dude, Jalen Ramsey's easily the best covering, defensive or not covering, tackling defensive back in the league, and it's not even
He
fucking
is.
close.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he is easily the best tackling corner in the league, or defensive back even maybe I would say. AJ Dillon got absolutely stood up by him at the goal line. Jalen Ramsey put him in his fucking place. Then fucking Aaron Jones was easily had the edge on Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey just like grabbed him, like had barely any grasp on him, and just absolutely bitched him. Fucking easily tackled him. Jalen Ramsey, like if you watch him, he's easily one of the most physical corners in the league, but his tackling is like so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't get away from him, and that's one thing I think that goes under the radar with him is his tackling, and his tackling is fucking insane. Like he doesn't miss really. He rarely misses.
Yeah, because as a cornerback, people are going to look more at your coverage skills, which he's still a super good coverage person.
Yeah, he's
But
had a bad year this year, but like
Yeah.
I think there's more to blame than just him. Like there's just
Oh, yeah.
all around him's been bad.
He's kind of like a hybrid between like a strong safety and a cornerback. It's insane. I don't know if you can really say that about anybody else.
I feel like he could honestly turn into like Charles Woodson, where he like went from corner to safety,
He probably could.
and he
I
could
don't
just
doubt
be
that.
just as good.
That'd be something to think about like later in his career.
Yeah. Because isn't that what Charles Woodson did? He went from corner to safety.
I am not quite sure.
I'm not either, but I think that's maybe that would make more sense. Why would you go from corner or safety to corner? That doesn't make sense because you're gonna get slower at the end of your career.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Colts, Vikings. What a game. What I don't know really how to describe it. Largest comeback in NFL history. Down 3-3. Vikings win 39-36 in overtime.
This is a where were you moment in NFL history. Like this is something I'll remember for the rest of my life. Like this game is etched in history for me. Um, it's just a whirlwind of emotion. Just watching the team look like absolute shit in the first half, and then you like the second half, you're just like, oh my god, just come out and score some points, please. Like this is just depressing. And then they score the one touchdown, and they score the second one, and then you get that little feeling inside. You're like,
Mhm.
there's
The
still a
script
full quarter
writers are at
left.
work.
Yeah, still a full quarter left. Jefferson scores like 10 minutes left. I'm like, dude, they're coming back. There's no fucking way. And then you have Rager who just stops running. They threw the pick. And I still was like, dude, they haven't pinned. Like we can easily get the ball back, score. And then literally we have everything go wrong. Like they didn't even want us. The refs, I don't think want us to win at that point because they were so bad. Like I'm not gonna complain because we won. But like they definitely like I mean I'm obviously gonna complain a little bit, but they definitely like the game easily could have been way closer faster if it wasn't
We
for
should have
them.
won in regulation if both the touchdown stood.
We should have. They really I mean, that's one thing that I was like so that Michael Pittman one, I don't know how they ruled that forward progress stopped because
They
he
blew it
was
way too quick.
or oh yeah. And then the thing is that bothered me so much is that you have Zach Moss, the previous drive or whatever, or something like that, is at the goal line. He's standing there, like they have him stood up for 5 seconds. They finally blow the whistle and then he lunges forward into the end zone. Like obviously he's forward progress to stop. Michael Pittman was fucking
He was
standing there
still
for maybe a
moving.
second. He was still inching forward because he was still in the momentum. Ball gets ripped out. They fucking blow the whistle like when he's in the end zone saying like that he was forward progress rule stopped. And that's the dumbest thing ever is that they can't review that shit. Like there should be like a time like there should be like something with forward progress where there's like a time that he is not moving forward and it should be stopped because he was still moving forward and like maybe he was stopped for like a second, maybe two, and then the ball got stripped. It wasn't even close. And then you got the fucking fumble, dude standing straight up in the air, like
Mhm.
straight up in the air. Ball gets punched out easily, not even close. Like and Chandon Sullivan runs it back for what should have been his second fumble return touchdown of the game. That gets called back because he was down by contact. And then he gets pissed off, throws his helmet, which I would too. And
Mhm.
because he threw his helmet, it gets overturned to a fumble, but somehow it doesn't count as a touchdown because he threw his helmet on the ground after the
No,
play was
because
over.
it was because the forward progress is stopped, and once the whistle is blown, you can't return it.
No, no, no. I'm talking
It's
about the second
I
one.
know it's not, but even still, like they blew it dead on the field, and you can't return it once the whistle has been blown on
Yeah,
the field.
that's just fucking dumb. That's
Which,
just
like, I know people have been saying, like the refs, you're trained to let the play go and see what happens, and then have the replay booth either overturn it and say he was down, or let it stand and be a touchdown.
yeah, no, that's exactly what should have happened. Might be it literally like might be like one of like not like penalty wise, but like just the way they called the game might be one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was not very good. The refs overall seemed to have a pretty tough weekend this week.
Yeah. But that game, I mean, if that game I would have been pissed if it ended a tie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
would have
I would
loved
have been
I would have
too.
rather lost. I would have rather lost.
I still hate that it's not 15 minutes, it's only 10 in overtime.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
ties just don't do anything for me. They wreck it for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like if anything, like in the regular season, it should just be college overtimes.
Mm-hmm. Even
Because
you don't even need the touchdown. Just do point conversions back to back to back.
yeah, and the fact that fucking like a tie is a benefit to you or whatever because you couldn't win. Like the Commanders and Giants will probably one of them will make the playoffs because of their tie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucking dumb. It's so dumb, but we got out of there with the win. Um, the Colts are just a fucking awful team. Um, like there is no reason why you should ever blow a lead like this, especially when okay, actually I can't say that because they definitely could have because their offense was not impressive even in the first half, but they had two non-offensive touchdowns. Their offense, that our defense, like I know this sounds crazy, played a phenomenal game. They stopped them to five. What? How many field goals was that in the first half? They scored three touchdowns, or four
Four
field
field
goals in the
goals.
first, and one offensive touchdown, which I'm pretty sure I don't know when that was. Either way,
Uh,
it was. I don't know if it
it
was
was a
after the
passing
Dalvin Cook
touchdown
fumble.
to
I don't remember if it
Deion
was.
Jackson.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was after the Dalvin fumble or not. But either way, you stop them to one offensive touchdown, and then the second half you give it 3 total points. The defense played absolutely out of their minds for how much they were on the field to even give us a chance to win this game. But yeah, just absolutely crazy game. I mean, fuck, like that's a game where if you're there, it's you're seriously thinking about leaving
Mm-hmm.
because especially after they go 3-and-out to start the second half. But I
Yep.
mean, my dad and his buddies were there. Parker was there. They all decided to stay. Craziest shit ever. Like I don't know.
If it
Sucks
was
I wasn't.
any
Then
other sport, I probably would have left.
oh, easily. There's no chance anyone's coming back from that. I mean, hockey, I guess. Yeah, depend.
But
Yeah,
like,
it depends on
maybe
where you are in
hockey,
the
but like
hockey.
basketball
If
and
you're in like
baseball,
this,
I've been out there. I've been out
oh,
there.
easily. Yeah. Well, yeah, like hockey. If you're down like 4 goals in the start of the third, maybe I could see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's something you don't even think about. Like most people would never think to stay. I mean, people who did though, like go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy. It's like that's like multiple times. That's like twice now. Like my dad, they thought about leaving. Like we were so close to leaving before the Minneapolis Miracle. They were close to leaving because I wasn't there this game. They were close to leaving at this game. 2 games like in history, like that like you know people that like are close to leaving. There's people that left these games and they didn't even get to experience it.
Yep.
Um, good to see Jackie finally got to meet JJ. Fucking sick. Um, definitely was if we would have let her down that bad, that would have sucked. But she got to witness that, which was pretty cool. But yeah, just
Yeah.
great. It was just a great day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously this game didn't start out the greatest. I was driving back home, so I didn't get to see. I think it was most of the first quarter, and it was like, oh, the Colts have kicked a field goal to go ahead, and then Vikings get the ball forced to have a 3 out. Oh, the ball is popped in the air and the Colts get it for a touchdown. And then what else? There was one other thing. Oh, it's the
Dalvin fumbled.
Dalvin fumbled and then Deion Jackson or whatever his name is. Yep. Got the receiving touchdown. And Paul Allen was just so sad. And it was kind of funny to hear because since he's this very exuberant person. But like I was just like, oh, this is just a repeat of the Cowboys game against a worse opponent.
That's what made it. That's what admit that would have been made it worse.
Yep. And I was like, oh, this is awful. I texted Peabody at halftime, you gotta get out of there. He shot me down. So good on him. And then it's like once I thought the momentum was starting to shift when KJ had that big opportunity for the big play, but then they overturned it. I was like, yeah, that was probably a drop. But then once he got that other big like 67-yarder catch, I was like, okay. And then obviously kept building, got it. Dalvin's screen to tie the game was, I don't know how you let that happen.
Yeah, I don't
Honestly,
know.
that like that was crazy. But yeah, it was just an emotional roller coaster. Got I don't know. I don't. First off, let's talk about that fake punt. That was awful.
Right call. Actually, no, it wasn't. You were
No,
down how much at what time? Yeah,
it
if you were
was,
down so much,
and
you
it was
might as well
fourth
just
and
put it in
one.
Kirk's. You might as well just give it to the offense at that point if you're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
I like that
They
call
what
on 4th and 10, not 4th and 3.
they already did that at like what? They already did that in the first half when they were down 17-0, right? Remember that? They were down 17-0, and then we went forward on our own 31 at 4th and 1 when we did that CJ Ham end around.
Oh, is that
By
when he
far,
got his 1 yard? Or
yeah, it you got short. By far one of the worst fourth down plays I've ever seen in my life. You have what looks like the what Penny Sewell did last week, where he's running in motion. You give him the ball on an end around like your fullback. Like it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like you either get that to your wide receiver, or you fake it to him. You don't give it to your fullback there. Just a dumb fourth down play. But as you were saying,
but yeah, this was KJ's career breakout game. 10 receptions for 157 yards and a touchdown.
yeah,
That was a beautiful thing to see. Obviously, I think most people agree with this, that it's the beginning of the end for Adam Thielen as the number 2 wide receiver of the Minnesota Vikings.
like I hope that happens. Like as sad as like the thing is, I think Adam Thielen would be better as a 3.
Yeah, I hope we don't cut
Stay
him, because I know
fresh. Well,
someone
no, I
like
don't think so.
was like we should cut him to free up cap space and all that stuff. No, keep
Well,
him as
I
a
could see
3.
that. I could definitely see it at the end of this and during the off season though.
I could too, but I think he's such a emotional leader of this team. I think you got to keep him
We also did
for the
let
moment.
Kyle Rudolph go though too, and he was a huge piece of the team too. Like I
That
know he
is
wasn't as
true.
good, but he was like a foundational like captain of the team,
Hmm.
and we let him go. So wouldn't be surprised, especially in a new regime too.
Yeah, that's true.
They let a guy like Adam Thielen go. Like as sad as it seems, it definitely is a possibility, like a very big possibility.
Justin
Because
Jefferson.
he's getting
Oh,
paid a lot too. Sorry, he's
that's
getting paid
true.
a lot.
Justin Jefferson had another stellar game, 123 yards. Dalvin Cook was doing it all, 95 yards on the ground, 95 yards through the air. That's crazy. CJ Ham actually getting some touches, which is funny. He scored another touchdown, career high for touchdowns in the season with 2. Um, but this may it still looks like TJ Hawkinson does not know the offense at all.
What do you mean?
Like each time he goes in motion, it looks like he does not know where to set up.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he's still figuring it out. Who knows?
He might, because like I'm assuming Kevin O'Connell probably has a more complicated offense since he comes from Sean McVay's coaching tree.
Yeah.
But like each week he's kind of regressing a little bit. And it's like we still won the
I think it's
trade
literally
at the
just because
moment.
I still think it's I don't think he's regressing. I think it's literally just because our offense was so bad and our wide receivers were open in the second half. I don't think it was him. I mean, he did catch a 2-point play and he was wide
Yep.
open.
Yep.
So
So happy he didn't drop that one. Good catch there. But yeah, it was just overall. I know on the radio in the first half, or like the first quarter, they were like, Eric Kendricks has got to sit out now because they said he was like limping or something like that. And I was like, oh boy, this is really not going to be our game at all. And then came in clutch a couple of times. I think that was his first sack on the year. Duke Shelley made a great pass breakup on that one. A couple, I think it actually was.
yeah, no.
Just
Yeah,
after
yeah,
halftime, it was such a good team win, and there's nothing really more to
yeah.
say besides that.
You want to talk about how Cam Dantzler was like a healthy scratch?
Was he? I didn't even see
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't inactive. He was dressed, and Duke Shelley played over him the entire game.
I mean, I guess Dantzler didn't have the best week against Detroit last week, but still,
Is that like a cause of concern? Like I don't know. Like Cam Dantzler is supposed to be our 2. Like he had a
yeah,
very good year last year. Like advanced stats wise, he was like what top 10 corner last year. I know that sounds crazy, but top like
It didn't seem
advanced
like that.
analytical stats, yeah, he was a top 10 corner. Um,
He was having
but
a
like
great season.
yeah, this year for sure until he got hurt, like that definitely fucked everything up. Um, but going back to like the game, like I don't know if you remember it or like notice, but that one point when I don't know if it was a Jalen Rager end around or whatever, and then it was a TFL, and the guy got like
DeForest Buckner.
no, it wasn't. It was like Odeyinbo or something. It wasn't a
Oh,
Fadi. It wasn't
uh,
a Fadi. It was the other guy.
oh,
But they have very similar last names. But this guy, maybe was it? No, it wasn't a Fadi. I don't think. Either way, number 54, he makes a TFL. He gets up, celebrates, and then he walks over to Jalen Rager, stands over him.
oh,
Like he
that
gets the unsportsmanlike
that was
conduct
an
penalty.
awful taunting call.
You thought that was a
Awful.
bad penalty?
I
That
don't
was,
like. Obviously, you don't know what he said, but if
no,
he didn't,
it's the fact that he took the time to walk over towards Jalen Rager, say something or like stand over him. That's just unsportsmanlike. You don't need to do that when
I
you're already
still think it was
celebrating.
a weak taunting call. I've seen
It's
worse.
definitely not though. It's no, it's definitely not. Like I know that sounds biased as fuck, but if you ever make like they're gonna call this every time. If you make the attempt to go out of your way to try to celebrate, that is unsportsmanlike. That
Letter
is
of the law, yes, you are right. But
taunting.
from what we have seen, I feel like other refs would have let that play. Like he didn't. It wasn't egregious. Like
No, obviously it's not egregious, but that literally like that might be one of the best, like one of the better things they've done all game. Like that is what unsportsmanlike is. Like that is the penalty. They called it right there. That was like one of the only things they did right there. But that was definitely the game. That was a game changing point because I think that's what when the KJ catch happened after that. Because we were going to be at like second and 15 or something like that, something drastic, and then that happens, and I think that KJ had that big catch. So definitely I think that was like the turning point. They were talking about it on K Fan today about it.
it was definitely a stupid penalty, whichever way you look at it.
By him or just in general.
That's why I said by whatever way you look at it. Because if you're a Colts fan, you're probably saying that's not a penalty. But if like you also can't do that, so it's a stupid penalty by him.
Yeah.
I still
I
think
mean,
they
I
need to definitively say what is and what's not a taunt. Because if he made the tackle right there and you didn't walk over and you just kind of stood over him for a moment, then it probably would not be a taunt.
I still think that they like anytime like a guy like most of the time when they stand over a dude, they're gonna call it every time.
But I know like the announcers were like, "Oh, he must have said the magic words or whatever to get the penalty." So they didn't think what he did was
I honestly don't
warranting.
think trash talk even does it unless it's really bad. Like, what are you gonna say trash talk wise to actually get a penalty unless it's towards the ref? Like, let's be honest. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna murder your family.
Yeah, but like, I don't think anyone's gonna say that on the football field.
You never
So it's
know.
like, I guess I don't know. Maybe they will, but I'm saying like, if it doesn't ever get to that point of egregiousness, it's your act that gets you the penalty. It's not
It's not
what
your
you
words.
say. Yeah, so I don't know. Just, I mean, I know it might have been a little ticky tack, but if anything, it's literally it's the fact that he took the time out of his celebration to go stand over Jalen Rager because he made a tackle up 33 nothing or 36 no 33 nothing. Yeah. Either way. Changing point of the game gave us fresh set of downs, and then the KJ Osborne sparked everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
just
So
a
we
great
got.
game. Just like it's just a roller coaster of events because like I was literally just chilling there. Like we were at my grandma's house, we were baking cookies that day, and I was just chilling on the couch. I was just laughing. It was kind of funny to me. I wasn't even like upset. I was just laughing. I was like, "This is hilarious! Like, it can't be this bad." And then we're just like sitting there like unwrapping like Hershey Kisses for like later or whatever. Like I was just like, "Oh, whatever." Like I was about to turn the game off, and then it's just kind of like it was kind of like the Buffalo game, but it was even more intense because we were down so much. Like the fact that we had two games like that where we're so out of it and then we're right back in it and we somehow win these games, just absolutely insane.
Yeah. I still don't know how I feel about us going into the postseason. It's
Oh,
gonna
dude,
be
I have no idea what to think. I don't even know what to think. Like,
this year is like last
nothing
year.
helps me. Nothing helped me from that game. Be like, oh yeah, we're definitely contending. Like my expectations did not change based off the game, but what to think, whatever, going into the playoffs now, no idea what to think. It also depends on what these next couple weeks we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I don't know.
I don't know either. It's gonna be intense.
I don't know. I was when I was during the game. I don't know. I sent it to you guys. Obviously, like I was on Twitter or whatever, and they were like shitting on us. Like people on Twitter were shitting on us, and I responded to a tweet, and I actually got a response from like this big blogger at Barstool. So that was twice.
That's who that
I
was.
tweeted at
He was a Barstool blogger.
yeah. I responded to his tweet. He responded back to me, and then I tweeted at him after the game, and he responded to my tweet again. Plus, the one time he actually responded to me was based off a Big Cat tweet. So I had
Gotcha.
Big Cat. It was a Big Cat tweet. Then the blogger responded, and then I responded to the blogger on Big Cat's tweet. So kind of a fire day for me, not gonna lie. All right. Now we get to the fucking worst part of the episode. Book it with beef. Oh god. I literally just like I don't even know what to think anymore. It's like it's honestly mind-boggling how bad I am. Like I can't believe like 3 weeks ago I was like, oh, we're getting in the right direction or whatever. And like because I went 3-2 somehow. How did I even go 3-2? Oh, the under hit in that game is in the bank and the Packers cover the spread. Oh yeah. Either way, fucking just absolute dog shit. 0 for 5 again. Obviously, we didn't have an episode, but yes, I've gone over 5 2 weeks in a row now, and I think this is my third 0-5 week now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, 3 0-5s. Holy shit! Yeah. Would you go 2-3, Brandon?
2-3. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, Dallas didn't help me out.
What I would do to go 2-3?
What I do?
What I would do to go 2-3? That's a momentum swing there for me. Under 500, like anything under or better than 0-5 right now is like a win for me.
You still do got a chance to finish above 500.
Yeah, I think I gotta run the table.
I think you gotta go like 4-1 each week.
Yeah, fuck.
I think you're like
if
10
it
down
was
right now.
if it was beginning of the season, I would be all over that. But this now, I have no confidence. My bets suck, so I don't know what to do. I'm literally just picking. Like I went to go strat wise, that didn't work. Vibes don't work. Now I'm just going
Go
ultra
back to picking the
vibes.
Vikings.
No,
Why
I
not?
don't know why I don't. I don't know. I just don't feel like it.
Hmm.
All right, Brandon, let's get into it. Your favorite.
My favorite for this week. We're going with a team that's playing very well against a team that is coming off. I think it's like 3 of their last 4 weeks. They have lost in a very unfortunate way. We're taking the Bengals -3.5 at New England. Bengals playing great. New England, they might have some hunger in them, but also I think the Bengals are just that much better than them right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate that pick. Not gonna lie. Like I've talked about it. I talked about it earlier. I just feel like the Patriots. That's a game that they somehow win. Kind of like how I felt like the Bucks, like Tom Brady was gonna somehow beat the Bengals this week. He didn't. But not that I don't like the Bengals. It's just the Patriots are just fucking Patriots, and Bill Belichick knows what he's doing. My favorite, hottest team in football, Motor City Kitties -2.5 in the bank at Carolina. They're hot. -2.5 seems like a disrespectful line to me. Carolina is not a very good team. They just lost to Pittsburgh with Mitch Trubisky at the helm. That is an embarrassing loss. You got the Lions coming to town. 6 out of their last 7. Yeah, Lions are hot. They're gonna continue to stay hot after this one with at least a 3-point win.
That's fair enough.
All right, your favorite dog, Brandon.
My favorite dog for this week, the team we ran over. Not us and like the Vikings that we just recapped. They were gonna be without a crucial piece, but I believe in Minshew mania. Philadelphia +6 at Dallas. I think Philadelphia has a good enough team around him that they'll be able to stay within a touchdown of Dallas, especially since Dallas is coming off 2 sketchy weeks. I think Philly should have this one.
Yeah, I actually am agreeing with you on this one. I think the Eagles are going to prove that they're just that good of a team this week, even with a backup quarterback. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they'll keep it close just because I think Dallas will be desperate enough and they'll win this game. But I think the Eagles are that good of a team to where I think this will I think the Eagles will keep this close.
Mm-hmm.
All right, your favorite over, Brandon.
My favorite over. I feel like this one is uh kind of free money. I probably shouldn't say that because each time you say that, it usually doesn't hit,
Hmm.
especially when dealing with the Broncos. But we're not dealing with the Broncos this week. We are dealing with Washington at San Francisco over 39.5. Let's hear it.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. This is a low over. I think this could easily be hit. It looks like Brock Purdy is going to play, and I don't know of any major injuries to any of the Commanders, so I don't know why it's this low.
Do you think that this game might be what the Bucks were with the Commanders? Or the Bucks and the 49ers. Do you think I think it's gonna be a very similar game to that.
Even if it is, it still hits.
It's true. But I also think the Commanders can have enough stops because their defense. I don't know. That one's tough. I think
It's just
in the
so
bank is a
low.
risky pick.
It's just so low with such a good offense with
Yeah.
the 49ers against a solid offense with the Commanders. And they both got good defenses, obviously.
Hey, if it's so low, you should definitely take the over in the Rams and the Broncos game. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be at like 35 or something. It's going to be so astronomically low.
Let's see. Is it up yet?
No, I don't think so. I was going to look it up on Bleacher Report or something, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of the lowest unders we've seen all year. It's going to be astronomically low. But my over, I got Buffalo at Chicago, 40.5. I don't know if there's like an injury that I don't know about, but fuck. Buffalo, I think they're gonna pull it together here and have a really good week. I think the Bears, they just are a fun team. They produce a lot of overs. So yeah, I think this one hits. I just like the Bears overs have been hitting a lot recently. Justin Fields has been pretty dynamic, so we'll see. But Bears, Buffalo over 40.5. All right, your favorite under, Brandon.
My under for this week is I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about this one because I think if you took both teams' scores from last week, they would have hit the over. But I think it's going to be a nitty gritty game. Philadelphia at Dallas 46.5. I think it is the highest over under line this week, or it's one of them.
Is it actually?
It might be.
I think the Vikings one is actually higher.
Oh, I think you're right. And then it's this one. But this seems like a lot of points, especially for having, like I said, Gardner Minshew. He's not bad as backup, but still he is a backup quarterback. And I think this is a little too many. Or this could easily hit the under.
Yeah, I have this one as well.
Cool.
Basically, I was just like, I think Dallas is. I think just because I think the Eagles are that good of a team, and I think they'll show that. I think Dallas is going to struggle to score offensively, and I think that goes likewise with the Eagles because they have a backup. So 46.5. It just seems like a defensive battle. That's going to be brewing. I just looked at the over under 35.5 for the Broncos and Rams.
Okay.
Just saying that's so fucking low.
That is. It's very low.
It's so bad. Yeah, but I can't. I don't know. I'm betting a lot on the fucking Eagles this week, and I don't know how to feel about that. But if anything, if we're going based off this, what I should have been doing a long time ago is I should have started betting against the Eagles or betting with the Eagles every week, and then their bets would have not hit. So then they would have lost games probably. That's what I should have done.
Okay.
Or just anything because my bets just don't hit. So like the Titans the Panthers lost this week.
Yep.
The Rams didn't even cover.
Nope.
Chicago and Philly just didn't somehow score enough points. And then somehow, some way, the game was 6-3 at halftime. They somehow scored fucking how many points did they score?
David Blau worked his magic.
33 points, dude. In the second, I thought it was Trace McSorley that was in the game.
Is he the one that came in? I know they signed David Blau off the Vikings practice squad.
Either way, they scored 9 points in the first half, and then they somehow scored fucking 30 points in the second half. Dude, like what the fuck? Just like should have been an easy under. Like they had no points at the first half, and I couldn't even rely on that. They scored so many points in the second half. Just I fucking hate. I'm glad I don't bet on this anymore, or had money to bet on this because it would just be miserable.
You're not ready to put down $100 on your in the banks next year.
No, I'm not putting $100 on that shit.
Why not?
Fuck no, because I don't have the money for that. I don't have the balls for that.
Grow a
No,
pair.
shut up, Brandon. All right, well, I think it's gonna do it for us here at Certified Beef. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.